Prajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yamunatiravana Yamuna Thiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Satanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyade Shratarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming for the Bhagavad Gita class, coming all the way to the temple. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a verse that says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschin mam beti tatvatah. It says, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have attained perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So all of you who have come here to the temple, who are engaged in devotional service are very rare and special souls. Krishna says 1 out of many thousands of people is actually interested in attaining the perfection of life. So I'm very honored to be in the presence of all of you, great souls, and I seek your blessings that I may be able to speak something for the pleasure of all the Vaishnavas and for the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda on the Bhagavad Gita. So yeah, kindly give me your blessings to be able to speak on this great book, Bhagavad Gita. So today we're reading from chapter 3, and yeah, Bhagavad Gita is a very wonderful book. Actually, yesterday was Gita Jayanti. We were celebrating here the day that this Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years ago about in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And yeah, today we're on chapter 3, and we're reading text 23. The verse is up there on the board. So I'll just recite the Sanskrit and then you can repeat it after me. Yadi yaham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandrataha mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha yadi yaham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandrataha mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha yadi aham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandrataha mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Would someone like to say the verse? Yadi aham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandrataha mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Yadi aham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandrataha mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Anyone else would like to try? Yadi aham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandrataha mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Okay, thank you. We'll do the word for word now. Yadi, if, he, certainly, aham, I, na, do not, varteyam, thus engage, jatu, ever, karmani, in the performance of prescribed duties, atandrataha, with great care, mama, my, vartma, path, anuvartante, would follow, manushya, all men, partha, O son of Pritha, sarvashaha, in all respects. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. For if I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. Purport. In order to keep the balance of social tranquility for progress in spiritual life, there are traditional family usages meant for every civilized man. Although such rules and regulations are for the conditioned souls and not Lord Krishna, because he descended to establish the principles of religion, he followed the prescribed rules. Otherwise, common men would follow in his footsteps, because he is the greatest authority. From the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that Lord Krishna was performing all the religious duties at home and out of home, as required of a householder. I'll read the verse again. For if I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. So here now in chapter 3 of the Gita, Krishna, he's been talking about prescribed duties. First of all, how the scriptures, they recommend many different types of prescribed duties. And then he's saying that, I'll read 21, because 21 and 22 are very much related to this verse here. It's like a continuation. So I'll just read the translation for 21 and 22. 21 is a very famous verse. It says, Krishna speaking here, he says, whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. And then in text 22, he says, O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the 3 planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Now in today's verse, for if I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. So, what are prescribed duties? What does it mean when Krishna is talking about prescribed duties? What does that mean? Anyone? Okay, duties according to our nature. Anyone else? What do you think are prescribed duties? Sorry, care for your family. Okay. So the word like prescribed, generally it means like prescribed by someone, right? So who is that prescribed by? Lord Krishna, yeah, very good. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 6, there's a nice verse, chapter 3, it says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. That dharma, or the codes of religion, those are enacted by God. Many people, they have this idea in life that, we can just like do whatever we want to do, like do what feels good. Whatever you feel like doing, just do that. And even people nowadays, they think that they can create their own type of religion. It's like, I believe this, and I'm going to worship God in this way. They create their own codes of religion, or sometimes even their own gods, their own practices. But according to the scripture, it says that religion, real religion, is actually given by God Himself. It can't be made up by ordinary people. And the example is given like the law. Law means it's given by the government. You can't be like, I'll make my own law today. Like, why are we driving on the left side of the road? Let's start driving on the right side of the road. If I say that, the police will like come and arrest me. Because I can't make the law. I don't have authority to make law. So in the same way, religion means the principles given to us by God. Not that we can make our own religion and say that, by practicing this, I will achieve so-and-so result. So prescribed duties means the duties that are prescribed for us by the Lord. And the way we know what these are is through the scripture. God gives us the scripture, and in the scripture there's so much detail about what should be done and what should not be done. What are our prescribed duties? And here Krishna, he's explaining in the Bhagavad Gita the importance of following these prescribed duties. Yeah, the idea about people nowadays who say that, yeah, let me just do whatever feels good, I'll do that. And they think that that's freedom. Like freedom means I'll do what I want, right? Like if I feel like doing this, I'll just do it. Like don't give me all these rules and regulations. That's like impeding my freedom. But actually it said that these rules and regulations are actually the things that enable us to have freedom. If we're just acting according to the dictations of our mind and senses, we're not free. We're actually the slaves of our senses. Our senses are dragging us here and there. Oh, come and eat this nice food. Come and watch this nice movie. Come here, go there. They're just dragging us here and there. And after we come back and we realize, like, why did I do that? Like, why did I do so many, like, such silly things? We think now I just, like, wasted my time. I overate. Now I'm, like, sick. I spent too much time doing all these silly things now, like I'm not even well. And then we're just like, why did I do that? So it's like we act against our will, trying to fulfill the demands of our senses. And so in the name of freedom, people, they're just becoming slaves of their senses. And they think that this is happiness, this is freedom. But actually they're just becoming more and more degraded and more entangled in the three modes of material nature. They're becoming more under the control of these modes and of, particularly passion and ignorance, and more bound by all of these forces of nature. So actual freedom is in following the rules and regulations of the scripture. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he called the four regulated principles the regulated principles of freedom. Because through following these four regulated principles, it gives us the state of consciousness that we can actually make the right choices in our life. It brings us at least to the mode of goodness, whereby then we can have clear intelligence, a clear mind to understand what is actually good for me. What are good choices for me to make? And then we can actually be free, because then we're making our own choices. We're not being forced to act on our mind and senses demands. So this is a interesting point, because society nowadays is often, this is their definition of freedom. Just do what you want, basically. Do what feels good. But this is contrary to our well-being and the entire society's well-being. It's just making people more and more degraded. So we're talking here, Krishna's talking here about prescribed duties. And in chapter 2, Krishna explains that everyone has two duties. Everyone in this material world. Because ultimately, we're all spirit souls. We're the spirit soul, but now we're in this material world and in these material bodies. So we have two duties. One is the duty of our soul. It's called Sanatana Dharma. Our eternal duty as spirit souls to reconnect to the Supreme Lord, to reestablish our loving relationship with Him through Bhakti Yoga. But then also, because we're living in this material world and we have a material body, we also have a Svadharma, or a worldly duty. We need to take care of our body. We need to take care of our families. We need to live in this world. We need to function as humans living in this body. And so, we have these two duties to perform. And so, through the practice of Bhakti Yoga, like Prabhupada gave us this wonderful practice that's very relevant and easy to practice in this age. For example, he gave us the four regulated principles to follow. He gave us sadhana of waking up early in the morning, chanting our rounds, attending the Mangalarti, worshipping the deity. All of this is sadhana for devotee, and all of this nourishes our soul. It's part of our Sanatana Dharma, helping us reconnect to the Lord, reawaken our loving relationship with Him. And then Krishna also explains in chapter 4 of the Gita, text 13, he says, Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. So regarding our worldly duty in this world, Krishna explains that he created this system of varna and ashram. And this is a system that will enable us to function in this world, to work, He says guna karma, so we work according to our nature. In the system of varnashram, there's 4 varnas. There's the Brahmins, who are the intelligent class of men. Basically, they're like the educators, the teachers, the philosophers, even like scientists could come under there. Then there's the Kshatriyas, who are like the protectors of society, governors. Then there's the Vaishyas. Vaishyas they produce food and all the supplies that we need. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai. And agriculture, cow protection, and trade are the occupation of Vaishyas. And then there's the Shudras, who are workers. They do so many different things in society. And so according to our nature, we can work according to one of these varnas. Krishna also explains that, it's important for us to work according to our nature, because this will enable us to be happy while we're doing it, and to at the same time be able to focus on our Sanatana Dharma, cultivating our spiritual life, our spiritual relationship with Krishna. Nowadays, often people, they'll just choose a job based on how much money they get paid for it, or the job their family wants them to do, or what their friends think is going to be a cool job or something like that. But Krishna says it's very important that we choose something that is actually suited to our tendencies, to our nature. And in this way we'll be able to do it properly. Otherwise people end up getting like burned out or overstressed or things like that if they're doing something that's not according to their nature. It doesn't make them happy. And if you're not happy, Krishna also says in the Gita that if you don't have peace of mind, there's no chance of practicing your spiritual life. First of all, you need to be peaceful. And so in order to have this peace, we need to be doing our work according to our prescribed duties, according to our nature. So that'll be easy for us to do. And there's also the ashrams. So according to every ashram, there's different prescribed duties. If we're a brahmachari, a student, then they have certain prescribed duties. As grihastas, or when we're married, householders, we have certain prescribed duties. Then when we're vanaprasthas, retired, there's different duties. And finally, when we take sannyas, there's different duties for a sannyasi. So it's important for us to know all of this. What are the different prescribed duties according to which varna and ashrams we're working in? And once we know them, then we can follow them. And then, this will make our life much easier and much happier. So here in this verse, Krishna is saying that actually, even I follow the prescribed duties, although I don't have any need to follow them. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's God himself. So he doesn't have to follow any rules or regulations. But why does he follow them? To teach everyone else. Krishna doesn't need to do all of these things, but he does it just to teach us, to help all of us. We can give the example that we see like parents. Sometimes if a parent is trying to teach their child the alphabet, they'll sit down with them and say it with them every single day. They'll go through the entire alphabet, and they're also practicing it themselves. But does the parent need to learn the alphabets? No, they already know it. They learned it a long time ago. But still, they'll do it with the child, just so that they can also learn it. So in the same way, Krishna, he keeps coming down to this world again and again. And he takes all the trouble. He goes through all the suffering that we go through. He does all of these different activities just to show us how to get out of these sufferings that we're going through, how to attain real happiness in our lives. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata adbhutanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrijamyaham. He says, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practices and a predominant rise of irreligion at that time, I descend myself. So he keeps coming whenever he sees that it's like getting difficult, so that he can, help us, help bring us up. And there's so many wonderful examples, like in the Krishna book, there's so many pastimes of how Krishna, he performs his prescribed duties so perfectly when he comes. A nice word to note in this verse also is the word carefully. It says here, atandritaha, with great care, that we should engage in our prescribed duties with great care. So that's also a nice point. We don't just do our prescribed duties like just as a matter of duty without like, caring about it, or just do it to get it done with. We actually do it with great care. That's a nice word to note. So Krishna, he comes so many times to this world. As Krishna, he performs so many wonderful pastimes. In the Krishna book, there's a nice chapter. It's called Krishna's Daily Activities. And there it's described how Krishna, he would, when he was a householder, he would get up every day early in the morning before sunrise, and he would get up and he would meditate. He would meditate on the Lord, which was himself, but just to teach us the example that this is what everyone should do. Everyone should rise early in the morning and meditate upon the Supreme Lord. That this will give us the strength, the spiritual strength to carry on throughout the day and keep our spiritual mindset and the intelligence that we'll be able to know what to do throughout the day. And after that, it's described so many things. Krishna, he would do so many different types of sacrifices. He would worship the cows and the brahmanas every day. He would give in charity. And then after, he would go and he would do his duties as a king. He would all of that, rule the state, rule the citizens, fight enemies, and all the things that kings do. He would do perfectly his duties as a Kshatriya. And there's also the next chapter in the Krishna book. No, actually it's the previous chapter. It's called Narada Visits Krishna, something like that. Narada visits. What is that? Narada visits Krishna's palaces. So said that one day Narada Muni, he always knows all the rumors. So one day he heard that Krishna married 16,000 princesses. So Narada's amazed. He's like, wow, how can someone marry 16,000 princesses at the same time? So he's like, let me go and see what's going on. So then Narada Muni, he goes to visit Krishna with all his 16,000 princesses, and he sees that actually Krishna, he created 16,000 beautiful palaces for these 16,000 wives that he married. So Narada Muni, he visits each one of these 16,000 palaces, and he sees that each one is so beautiful. It's so big, and every palace is like bedecked with gems and gold and just so amazing. And within each palace, Krishna, he's performing different activities. And one he goes and he sees he's like playing chess with his wife and Uddhava. And another one he's playing with his children. And another one he's worshipping the brahmanas. Another one he's performing sacrifices. And Narada's just amazed to see how wonderful Krishna is, that he could marry 16,000 princesses and at the same time take care of each one so nicely. And in each house he's perfectly performing his prescribed duties as an ideal householder. And so in this way, Krishna, he teaches all of us the importance of performing our prescribed duties according to our varna and ashram. Also, Krishna, when he was young, he went to Gurukul. And he accepted a guru, a spiritual master. And through this, he taught us the importance that even though I'm God, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedaham Samatitani, and sarvasya chaham vidisani vishto matasmitar jnanam apohanam cha vedaishcha sarveraham eva vedyo vedantagrit veda vedeva chaham. Actually, all the Vedas, they come from Krishna. All the knowledge in this world comes from Krishna himself. But still, that same person who created all the knowledge, who knows all the knowledge, he went to school and he learned all of that knowledge from a teacher, just to show us that this is the proper way to lead our life, is to accept the spiritual master. And he bowed down to his spiritual master. He worshipped him. He was always very respectful with his spiritual master, to teach us actually how to treat a guru. That a guru is most worshipable, and the disciple is always submissive to his spiritual master. One day, Krishna's teacher Sandipani Muni, he told Krishna and his friend Sudama to go out and collect firewood, because they would cook and do different things. And the Gurukul students, they would do all the menial work. They would go out and collect wood, they would get alms, and then they would bring everything back to their teacher and they would cook there, whatever the students begged from different houses. So one day he told Krishna to go and get wood. And he went with his friend Sudama. And while they were out, a huge storm broke out. And both Krishna and Sudama, they got lost in the forest while they were getting wood. And later their teacher, he found them and he was so pleased that how much trouble they took just to serve their guru. So Krishna, he teaches us how to be a disciple, how to take shelter of a spiritual master. I was talking, a few of my friends were talking to me another day about that there's some gurus nowadays who they're like self-made gurus. They don't come in any disciplic succession. And so actually this is, it's not bona fide. Krishna, he talks about in chapter 4 that there's a parampara, and that this is how knowledge is passed down. And then even himself, he accepts spiritual master. Even when he came as Lord Chaitanya, he also accepted Sri Ishvara Puri as his spiritual master in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. It says that there's 4 sampradayas, 4 bona fide sampradayas, through which pure knowledge is being passed down. And so, we should all take shelter of these sampradayas, this line of spiritual teachers, because then we'll get pure knowledge and be able to reach Krishna through the connection through this line of teachers. Then even of the story of Sudama, you can also, later on when Krishna and Sudama grew up, then Sudama, he became a very poor Brahmin. It said he was so poor that they didn't even have food to eat or proper clothes to wear or anything. It was the poorest person you could imagine. Whereas Krishna, he became the king of Dwarka. He was the richest person you could imagine. But one day Sudama, he went to visit Krishna because he was his friend from his childhood. They went to the same school. And so he traveled a long way. He walked, obviously, because didn't have any means to get transport or anything. He walked there and he arrived at the gates of the city of Dwarka, the palace of Dwarka. And the doorkeepers were there. And they saw this really skinny Brahmin. He was covered in dirt. His clothes were ripped. His feet were all cracked, bleeding from the forest path. And they're like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm Krishna's friend." They're like, "Really? You look such a poor person, like a beggar. Krishna's the king of Dwarka." I'm like, "Who are you?" Sudama's like, "No, go tell Krishna that, I'm Sudama, his friend." So they're like, okay, they went inside. And they're like, "I don't know, but let me at least tell Krishna." So they went and they told Krishna that, there's one person here. He says his name is Sudama and he claims to be your friend. And Krishna, he didn't even respond to the guards. As soon as he heard the name Sudama, he ran out. He went to the balcony and he saw Sudama and he recognized him, and he ran all the way to the gate himself. Kings, they don't go to the gate. They just order their guards, let them in. But Krishna, he just ran past the guards. He ran to Sudama and he hugged him super tight. He's like, "Sudama, my friend, you came finally." And everyone was surprised, like, how can you touch such a like dirty person? He's like such a wretched condition. And then Krishna, he brings him into his palace. He puts him on his own throne. His wife Rukmini, she fans him with the chamra, and Krishna actually washes Sudama's feet with his own hands. And through this, Krishna, he's also teaching us how to be a friend, how to be a good friend, that it doesn't matter that nowadays people, they make friends with people who are rich or who are famous or who are powerful. And if their friend later becomes like poor or something like that, they don't care about them anymore. Basically, they just wanted their money or they wanted their position or things like that. And we see that, for example, in the story of Drona and Drupad. Drona and Drupad were also school friends. And then later, they were such good friends when they were small at school that Drupad, he promised Drona as a child that you're such a good friend of mine that whatever I get, I promise I'll give you half. And so later when they grew up, Drona, he became he was like a simple Brahmin. He was not wealthy. It said that actually he was very poor. He couldn't even buy milk. And he had one son, Ashvatthama. And so when his son was small, he wanted to get milk for his son because it's good for children to drink milk so they get strong. So then he remembered that, I have my friend Drona. And Drona, he became a big king. He was really rich and powerful. Sorry, Drupad. His friend Drupad, he was a big king. So he's like, let me go and visit. He remembered that when Drupad and him were small in school, that Drupad gave him this promise that whenever we grow up, I promise I'll give you like half of whatever I have. So he went and he told Drupad that, now I'm struggling, I can't even get milk for my son to drink. And remember you said this when we were young. And Drupad, he was like, no, I don't remember you. I don't know who you are. You're like this poor person. I'm a king. I can't don't even call me your friend. He's like, friendship is between equals. You're like this poor person, now I'm a king, and just go away, I don't want anything to do with you. But actually, this is the nature of this world. You can see that in society today, that people only care about a person if they can get something out of them. If they don't have anything, people don't care about them. But Krishna teaches us that real friendship is not skin deep or money deep or fame deep or anything like that. Real friendship is soul deep. And the relationship of Krishna and Sudama was based on the soul. And actually all friendships are based on the soul, because we love everyone because everyone is a soul. And all the souls are part and parcel of Krishna. They're all parts of Krishna, so we can see Krishna in everyone. And in this way we can love everyone. And so through this wonderful story, Krishna teaches us that, how to be a good friend. It doesn't matter how wealthy a person is or anything like that. That Krishna was so grateful to Sudama for all the wonderful times they had together. So Then also we have, obviously on our altar, we have Lord Ram, who's known as Maryada Purushottam, the Supreme Lord, who taught by his own example how to perfectly follow religious principles, prescribed duties. Ram, he was able to sacrifice his entire kingdom just to follow the orders of his father, his superiors. And through this, he taught us the importance of following our superiors, following the instructions of our gurus. And to the extremes. Ram was ready to give up everything just to follow the one instruction of his father that his father actually didn't even want him to do, but he was forced to do. And Ram also, he also set the example of an ideal householder. He accepted only one wife, Sita, as his wife, and he perfectly cared for her. Even when she was kidnapped, he was ready to do anything to find her, to protect her. And even when he couldn't be allured by anyone, when Shurpanaka came she disguised herself as a very beautiful woman. She wanted to be with Ram, but Ram was like, no, this is my vow, that I only will marry one wife, and Sita's my wife. So yeah, through this he taught us all how to act, what proper behavior is, how to be faithful, and how to follow the rules of the Grihastha ashram. And then ultimately he also, Lord Ram, he taught Kshatriyas how to act as a perfect Kshatriya, how to give protection to the citizens. It said that Ram ruled his citizens just as a father. He cared for every citizen just as a father cares for their child. And he perfectly protected them and maintained them in every way. That everyone was extremely happy during the reign of Lord Ram. And yeah, ultimately he also then retired from his kingly duties. He gave his kingdom to his two sons, Lava and Kush. And by this also, Ram teaches us that, at the end of our life, we should renounce. We should renounce our kingdoms. We should give up our occupations and just fully dedicate our lives to serving Krishna. So yeah, time's running out. I could say a lot more, but I'll sum it up here that, basically the scriptures are like, it says the scriptures are like manuals for our life. That, this world is not meaningless, and we're not just a combination of chemicals, that this world didn't just come from explosion. It's actually, there's so much meaning. We're here for a reason. This world was created very intelligently and precisely for a particular reason. And the scriptures are the manual for this world, for our lives, how to live life in this world. They teach us what this world is about, who we are, what we're meant to do here, how we're supposed to get out, how to actually find real happiness in our life. And so if we read these scriptures, which are the manual of life, we'll get all of this knowledge. And then we'll be able to actually achieve the purpose for why we're here. It says like imagine you buy a product that's like a little bit complex and you don't read the manual. What's going to happen? Either it could be like the product doesn't work, or it can work, but it might look like it's working, but it's not actually fulfilling its purpose. Or you can get it to work and it might be fulfilling its purpose, but it won't last long because you're not doing it properly. So in the same way, if we don't read the manual, if we don't read the scriptures, then our life will end up a mess. We won't be able to, we won't be able to live a happy life. We won't be able to sustain ourselves. And so we see this so much in society nowadays, that people are so confused, they're so depressed, so misled. People are committing suicide and doing all kinds of crazy things because they don't know how to find real happiness. They don't know how to live life properly. They don't even know what prescribed duties are and how to follow them. And so in this way, people are suffering so much. And so, just like Krishna says that even though I'm the Supreme Lord, I don't need to follow all these prescribed duties, but still I do them just to set the example. So all of us here, we're also leaders to a certain degree. Anyone who's a parent is a leader. Anyone who, even if you just have friends, even if you have siblings, even if you have anyone in your life who looks up to you or follows you in any way, you are a leader. And so we should also be setting the example for the sake of everyone else in our life, to teach them how to live life properly. And so we should also perform our prescribed duties, even if we think that, I'm already happy in life, my life is good, I don't need to follow all these rules. We should do it to set the example for everyone else. So in this way, Krishna is teaching us how to make our life perfect by following dharma, or the religious codes given by God. So thank you very much. We have 1 minute if anyone would like to ask a question or comment. Yes?
scriptures where Krishna is doing things we're not supposed to do.
Hmm.
Sometimes there are explanations, but other times.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, so you're saying many things, sometimes Krishna does things that we're not supposed to do. So there's a difference between imitating and following.